America, the US-led West, UK, Europe, they are the ones behind banditry, Boko Haram, and insecurity in Nigeria. America. Many Nigerians don't know this. That is why they come out to criticize those northerners flying the Russian flag. Now, the military has come out to say that it is treason. They need to come and show us according to which law that is treason. But what the military and indeed all Nigerians must understand is this. America is behind Boko Haram. Why do I say this? In 2014, in the height, at the peak of the activities of Boko Haram in Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan was president then. That was close to the 2015 elections. If you remember, he went to America to ask for them, not ask, beg them to sell weapons to him so that he can fight Boko Haram, so there can be election in Borno State. What did America do? President then was who? Obama. Barack Obama, who is a black man, in fact, was rumored to come from Kenya. You would have expected that he would help Nigeria with the speed of light. But did he do that? Obama refused to sell weapons to Nigeria to fight Boko Haram. So did the US Congress, because they had their CATSA law in place. So did the United Kingdom. So did Europe, Germany, all of them. They refused to sell weapons to Nigeria. You know why? Because they said that there was an Amnesty International report that indicted the Nigerian army for human rights violations against Boko Haram. So because of terrorists, America refused to sell weapons to Nigeria to defeat the terrorists. This is while saying that they are allies to Nigeria. Goodluck Jonathan was frustrated. In fact, he was almost crying. If you listen to him, then you could feel the cry in his tone, in his speech. He then decided to go through black market. Black market, that was when the arrangement came. Some people decided to use a pastor's private jet. They put some dollars in there, and some, I think, in arrangement with the NIA, National Intelligence Agency. That's Nigeria's version of the CIA. They now took the private jet to South Africa to try to buy weapons from Russia, because, they didn't want to go directly to Russia so that the Americans would not be angrier than they already were. But if you asked me, I don't think there was any need to be afraid. You'd have just gone straight to Russia to get your weapons. The same Americans and the Europeans used their Interpol to thwart that mission. In fact, they embarrassed Nigeria. That case is still hanging unresolved till tomorrow. Embarrassed Nigeria and said all manner of things. That failed. A frustrated Jonathan now decided to do what? This was getting close to February of 2015. Elections could not hold in Borno. INEC came and gave that report. So they had to shift it for 6 weeks, if you remember. And so Goodluck Jonathan went and sought the services of Executive Outcomes. Executive Outcomes. Executive Outcome is a private military contractor, a private military company in South Africa. And of course, since South Africa is a member of BRICS, they had access to Russian weapons. Executive Outcomes came to Nigeria and did a fantastic job. Out of 27 local governments that Boko Haram had already taken over, they were able to chase them, and it became less than 5. We were able to hold elections. They continued doing their work until Buhari was sworn in on May 29th. And after Buhari was sworn in, what happened? Because they could not get Jonathan to terminate the contract of Executive Outcome, they forced Buhari to terminate the contract of Executive Outcome. These things are public knowledge. Just Google it. Interview of the CEO of Executive Outcome with Al Jazeera. The information is there. The CEO said it, that the President of America forced Buhari to terminate the contract of Executive Outcome. Why? They were not happy that they were decimating Boko Haram. Why? Because Boko Haram, the activities of Boko Haram helps America, helps Europe to exploit the Californium and other resources in the Northeast. Many of you don't know, everywhere you see terrorism, bandits in Nigeria, go to the Northwest. Gold is there. Uranium is there. Right? Lithium is there in the North Central. And that's where you find crisis. While all these crises are going on, sponsored and instigated by the Americans, the US-led West, the Europeans, the United Kingdom, they are using it as opportunity to loot and steal our resources in connivance with some very unpatriotic Nigerians. So when you see some people flying Russian flag, yes, I agree that those people look like Nigerians, they don't look educated, but don't think that there are no educated Northerners. Yes, people put the uneducated youths to it, but then what do you expect? The Americans are responsible for our insecurity. And if any government is serious, they should understand this and know that the Russians have been of more benefit to us than the Americans. The Americans don't want to. They destroyed our economic self-sufficiency. It was when the IMF and the World Bank came and started pushing structural adjustment program through government that they sponsored to take over through coups. That was when Nigeria started dying and jobs started leaving, because they were pushing globalization, pushing privatization. Americans, the only good things that happened to Nigeria ever since independence happens because of the Russians. Ajakuta Steel Rolling Mills, Ajakuta Steel, Alaja Steel, the steel rolling mills, all of these were built by the Russians, even the ports, the seaports. So when people say Russia, Russia, the military should not just be quick to dispel. I know that the rank and file of the military or the top brass of the military understand these things that I'm saying. But they may keep quiet because, of course, they have to benefit in one way or the other. In one way or the other. Insecurity in Nigeria has become a very, very lucrative business venture. People are benefiting from it on both sides, from the military side, from the bandit side. But what they fail to understand is it is at the detriment of Nigeria, and the only person who benefits ultimately are the Europeans and the Americans. So if we must stop insecurity in Nigeria, we must look in this direction. If business venture, people are benefiting from it on both sides, from the military side, from the bandit side. But what they fail to understand is it is at the detriment of Nigeria, and the only person who benefits ultimately are the Europeans and the Americans. So if we must stop insecurity in Nigeria, we must look in this direction.